Next topic is Euclid definition, axioms and postulate. From the studies and observation he has made from the elements and what are the data he has collected, he defined a solid has a shape, size, position and can be moved from one place to another. He has defined that a solid has a shape, it has size, it has position and it can be moved from one place to another. And he is saying that a solid, its boundaries are called surfaces. Solid means what? A cube is there. Cube is having 6 faces, surfaces, no? So that is called, its boundaries are called as surfaces. And next one, what is telling that another concept. The boundaries of the surfaces are curves or lines. See the boundary, if I draw a square means it will be in a line form. The boundary will be in a line. The boundaries of a surfaces are curves or lines. He says that the boundaries of the surfaces are curves or lines. And further what is saying, these lines are ends in points. When you draw a line, if you stop the line, the 2 end points are there, it will be a point only. So these lines are end in points. The edges of the boundaries of a square or a rectangle, if you see, it will be end in point. So these are the concept he has calculated. From solids to point, what are the things he is saying? Solid has shape, position, it can move from one place to another, he is saying. And it is having a boundary that is called surfaces. And the boundaries of the surfaces end with curves or line. And these lines are end in point. This concept he has given further. From solid to point, another extension also is called as a dimension. Based on this point, line, surface, he called another term as a dimension. And what he has concluded, a solid has 3 dimensions. A solid means what? A cube. If you are taking L into B into H, we are telling length into breadth into H. So 3 dimension is solid. A surface, a flat surface will be having 2 dimension, length into breadth. That's all. And a line has only 1 dimension because line will be extending on both sides. And a point has no dimension. Point cannot be, it is simply a dot. It cannot be having any dimension, so no dimension. So further what he is concluding from lines, curves, surface and points, he says that a solid has 3 dimension, a surface has 2 dimension, a line has 1 dimension, a point has no dimension. Further, Euclid began his exposition by listing 23 definitions in book 1 of his element. Some of them are, see further he has done some development in his geometrical concept. Euclid began his exposition by listing 23 definitions in block 1 of the element. Some of them are first one, a point is that which has no part. First concept he is telling, a point is that which has no part, because point is nothing but no part, no measurement will be there. And a line is a breadthless length. A line does not have a breadth, it will be extending on both sides. The ends of the line are point. If you stop the line at one point and one point, it will have both points, so it will be end. The ends of the line are points. Fourth one, a straight line is a line which lies evenly with the point on itself. A straight line means what? A continuous joining of the point will form a straight line. That only lies evenly with the points on itself. Fifth point, a surface is that has length and breadth. So what is the surface will be having? A surface is that has a length and breadth. Sixth one, the edges of the surface are line. If you see a surface of a edges of a boundary of any figure, you see it is in the form of a lines only. The edges of a surface are line. Okay. Seventh one, a plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight line on itself. A plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight line on itself. That is the 7th point. These are the certain points listed by Euclid, which is having some undefined terms. What are the undefined terms? That we'll see later. Some of the terms like no part, length, breadth, point, lines are undefined. We don't know what is the definition of breadth, what is the point, what is a line. So they are undefined terms. So what he concluded, a point, a line and a plane surface are undefined terms in the geometry. A point, a line or a plane surface are undefined terms in geometry. Euclid concluded from his list of definition He concluded a point, a line and a plane are undefined terms in geometry. Okay. So Euclid made certain assumption to make it defined term. So Euclid used certain assumption, divided them into two types to make it as a defined term. One is postulates and another one is axiom. So Euclid used certain assumption and divided into two types for make it defined term. What are they? Postulates and axiom. Postulate. Assumption specific to geometry, that is called postulate. Assumptions specifically to geometry, that is for postulate. Common notion or axiom used throughout the mathematics and not specifically to geometric alone. Common notion or axiom which is used throughout the mathematics, not specifically to geometry. Axiom means it is a universal truth. Okay, no need of argument and all. Some Euclid axiom, some important Euclid axiom they are given. First one, things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Example, if A is equal to B, B is equal to C, then A is also equal to C. That means the things which are equal to the same thing, A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is also equal to C. That is your first axiom. Second axiom, if equals are added to the equals, wholes are equal. If equals are added to equal, then wholes are equal. Example, if A is equal to B, C is equal to D, then A plus C will be equal to B plus D. That is the second axiom. If equals are added to the equals, wholes are equal. If A is equal to B, C is equal to D, then A plus C equal to B plus D. Third axiom, if equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. If equals are separated from the equal, the remainders are equal. Suppose if A is equal to B, C is equal to D, then A minus C will be equal to B minus D. That is the axiom says. If equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. Okay, that is third axiom. Fourth axiom, things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Both the things are same means what? It will be coinciding. So things which are coinciding with one another are equal to one another. That is understood. Fifth, the whole is greater than a part. The whole is greater than the part. That means what? Whole is full. One part of this means it is small. Suppose if B is a part of A, then we can say A is greater than B. If B is a part of A, then we can say A is greater than B. That means if we want to equal to A, something should be added to B. Then only it will equal to A. That is fifth concept. Fifth axiom. The whole is greater than the part. If B is part of A, then we can say that A is greater than B. Sixth postulate. Things which are double of the same thing are equal to one another. If you make two piece extra, then each piece will be equal to one another. That is, things which are double, that same thing are equal to one another. That is sixth postulate. Seventh postulate. Things which are half of the same thing are equal to one another. The things which are half of the same thing are equal to one another. So, these are the 7 axioms given by the Euclid. Then further about postulate we will continue in the next class. Okay. Thank you.